Right, everybody, Ruud van Nistelrooy has been talking to the media ahead of Manchester United's game versus Paok in the Europa League. He talked about players returning, the Højlund comparison, Ruben Amorim, and obviously the team news ahead of the game. This is going to be the press conference reaction. Don't forget to always leave a like, comment, subscribe if you are new, and let's get straight into it. So he talked initially about Tyrell Malacia, a player who hasn't been in action for Manchester United in a long time, and on him returning, he said Tyrell is fully in team training and no restriction, and it's good to plan his game minute maybe under the under-21s. Listen, it's going to be tough for Malacia to come back to full fitness. I don't remember we've ever seen the same Malacia, just due to the fact he had a big injury. He's been out for almost over a year now, and has missed a lot of football. So it's not like he's going to be playing in the foreseeable for Manchester United. He's got to build up that fitness, build up those minutes again to get him back to playing that first team football now. I think it will be a couple of weeks, until we see him. But it could be maybe Christmas time. Listen, he's a decent player. Maybe someone who will be in Amorim's contentions, but the issue is you can't really rely on a player like him who's not available all the time, someone who's not really playing much football, and a player who has struggled to keep fitness. You've got to build your team on players you can 100% rely on, and I don't think he is one of them, unfortunately. This might be a good player, basically someone we can build the future with. We don't know. He's had a big injury. Listen, I want to see him back playing football, preferably for Manchester United. He is a good player, but we've seen it with Luke Shaw. We can't really rely on him too much. But that was that. He talked about Leny Yoro. Obviously, he returned to training. He said it's a big moment for him. That first time being back in team training. We're going to get him back partially over the next coming weeks and look to get him on board as quick as possible. Listen, Yoro was a player who obviously was signed under Ten Hag. He was one of those signings who maybe Ten Hag didn't want it, but was definitely one of those players who has that prospect of being one of the top centre-backs in the world over the next coming years. He's going to be 19 in a week. He's still relatively young, and I want to see him play now. He'll probably be after the international break when we do see Yoro back. He did a bit of first team training today, and then carried on his individual fitness training. Listen, it's great to see him back. I think as everyone has seen and talked about, he'll be someone who will massively excel under the Ruben Amorim sort of formation and the Ruben Amorim sort of deals. I think he is a very, very good player, a fascinating player, and someone who has a lot of ability. He covers the channels very, very well, but in this game he won't be a part. So it'd be great though, after the international break, Amorim will have a full set of options when he does come back, when he does come in. Ruud van Nistelrooy talked about whether he's been in contact with Ruben Amorim. He said, no, I didn't have contact so far, so there's no change in that, and I don't know whether I will yet either. I don't know. So he doesn't know whether he's going to be staying. I've had my opinion. I think Ruud should be someone who's staying at Manchester United. I think he adds a lot to our squad. Obviously, it's up to Amorim to make that decision whether he wants to keep him or not. As I said, they haven't had any contact. I don't know if he will yet either. It could be a thing if Amorim comes in and Ruud just leaves straight away. I don't think that would be the case. I think Ruud is probably having contacts behind the scenes with him to kind of see what's going on and what is the situation. He talked about, I don't agree that we didn't create enough chances. If we look at the statistics, we are creating chances. That's why I'm not concerned. Listen, I can't really talk much on that. United, listen, we are creating chances. The issue is we need to score goals. Now, Ruud van Nistelrooy on the Højlund and Gyökeres comparisons and what he can do to live up to his potential. He has to stay calm and believe in himself. Now, listen, many Manchester United fans are saying bring in Gyökeres. He's a fantastic player. He's a proven goal scorer. Yes, that's absolutely correct. But I do think we do need a proven goal scorer, and he could be someone who does come to United in the future. But Amorim has said openly he's not going to take any player from Sporting. Maybe things change, and also, I think the potential with Højlund is fantastic. He's a very, very good player. He's a similar profile to Gyökeres, and they do have a very, very good similar traits. So, listen, I'm happy with Højlund at the minute. If we want to bring Gyökeres in, it will be in the summer window anyway. We'll have to wait and see. He has got a 60-70 million euro release clause. Now, Andre and Arnold on Sporting wins last night, and if they can adapt to Amorim's system, he said yes. I watched the game, very good, by the way. My players are pragmatic, my teammates are capable in playing in that system. Listen, it's a big system to adapt to. It's a different set of formation, different pressing strategies, different players, different managers, different instructions. It's going to take a lot to adapt to the way of playing under Amorim. Obviously, they had a very good performance last night against Man City. They were absolutely fantastic, a 4-1 win. I think there are glimpses there of what to expect from Amorim. He plays a very good system. Again, I don't think they were that good in that first half. I think in that second half, they come out to score 2 very good goals, very good pattern to play. And you can really see what he is trying to build in the Premier League. Now, Ruud on Nistelrooy getting the best out of Rasmus Højlund. He said most goals are scored in the penalty area, so that's where we want to get our players most of the time. He's a guy who can change a game in a second. Listen, he's a player who does have impacts on games, and he's a very, very good player. A player who, listen, if you create him chances, he will score goals. The issue is we're not putting enough crosses into the box, and we're not creating chances for him. He has a very, very high XG in terms of scoring goals. But the chances are not being created for him, and that is the biggest issue at the moment. I think he will convert them, and he will come good for Manchester United, but it's all about what we can do to get the best out of Rasmus Højlund going forward, because as I said, there is a player there. There's someone who can definitely improve. What we've seen so far is very good. He took a bit of time to adapt, but I think going forward for Manchester United, Ruud van Nistelrooy and Amorim, I think they really can and need to try and get the best out of Højlund. That starts in the next game. I think he hasn't got as many goals as we expected this season, but that's because we're not creating enough chances for him. We're creating maybe 1 or 2 chances. You look at some of the top teams, like Man City, more than Haaland off form now, but they would create a lot of chances for Haaland to score, get time after time after time, and ultimately that is something that we haven't done with Amorim over the year. So we haven't done with Højlund in the last season and going into this season and coming in. So listen, yes, we missed the most big chances, but they're not coming from Højlund. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.